with workers that had been unjustly arrested, detained, and prosecuted by immigration enforcement. They are now here to present their cases to the court for prosecutorial discretion. And it's really important because we want to say that today they are giving this step, even that, they were arrested. They are not afraid to say, I have the right to be free, I have the right to be safe. So thank you, everyone. So we have a small agenda. We're going to have the speakers. We're going to hear from a worker that is presenting his case. We're going to hear from one organizer of Migrant Justice, also from the ACLU, and Reverend John Javier Duval from the Unitarian Church. So without ado, I introduce you to Pedro. Thank you.
Good morning to everybody who's here. My name is Pedro.
Soy una de las 10 personas que estamos tratando de detener nuestras deportaciones.
And I'm part of the group of 10 people who are fighting to stop our deportations.
Yo vine aquí a la edad de 16 años, en el 2012, tratando de buscar una mejor vida para mí y para mi familia.
I came here when I was 16 years old, trying to find a better life for me and for my family.
Ahora tengo 26 años y pues sigo aquí. Como les digo, no quiero ser deportado.
I'm 26 years old now. I'm still here, and I don't want to be deported.
Soy miembro de Migrantes. Estamos luchando por tener una mejor vida en mi trabajo y pues que todo sea mejor.
I'm part of the organization Migrant Justice, and we're fighting to have a better life, for better conditions in our work, and for everything to be better.
Como les digo, tengo miedo de ser deportado. Mi vida está hecha aquí. Yo me siento bien aquí en Vermont.
I don't want to be deported because I've made my life here, and I feel at home in Vermont.
Es por eso que estoy pidiendo discreción procesal, como les digo, para detener mi caso.
And that's why I'm asking ICE to use prosecutorial discretion to stop my deportation.
También quiero mencionar que esto sirva de un ejemplo para todos aquellos que quieran organizarse. Que no tengan miedo, que lo hagan.
And I also want to say to fellow community members that they should see this action as an example, and that you don't need to be afraid to organize and to speak out for your rights.
Muchas gracias a todos y espero no ser deportado.
Thank you very much, and I hope that this action will stop my deportation.
They have those signs that they say, "I hands up." Can we say it loud? I
Hands up! ICE! Hands up! ICE! Hands up! ICE! Hands up! ICE! Hands up!
Thank you. So now I'm going to introduce Rosie Alfaro, which is an organizer with Migrant Justice, to hear from her.
Hola, mi nombre es Rosy Alfaro. Estoy representando a la comunidad migrante y a la organización de justicia migrante.
Hi, my name is Rosie Alfaro. I'm representing the immigrant community and migrant justice.
Como migrante hemos sido atacados por la migra en colaboración de la policía durante mucho tiempo.
For many years, the immigrant community has been attacked by police and immigration enforcement.
Hemos sido atacados, perseguidos y silenciados. No hemos podido levantar la voz por el miedo de ser deportados.
We've been targeted, persecuted, and silenced. Out of fear of deportation, many people have remained silent.
Es por eso que hoy estamos nuevamente aquí, como el año 2018 que metimos una demanda.
And that's what brings us here to the federal building. We were here in this exact spot in 2018 when we sued ICE.
La demanda fue para parar una campaña del ICE.
And the campaign, the lawsuit, was to sue ICE to stop their attacks against our organization.
Donde arrestaron personas, miembros y líderes de la organización.
ICE had been targeting migrant justice, arresting members and leaders of the organization.
Monitorearon la organización, incluso de informantes.
They surveilled migrant justice, including through the use of confidential informants.
Esta demanda se ganó. Es por eso que hoy estamos aquí para pedir a los 10 miembros que hoy están aquí para pedir que se cierre su caso.
We were successful in that 2018 lawsuit, and now we're back here to take initiative again to stop the deportation of these 10 members of migrant justice.
Demandamos para proteger los derechos que tenemos como migrantes.
We had sued ICE to protect our rights as immigrants.
Es por eso que nuevamente estamos en este lugar, porque tenemos a las 10 personas que hoy están exigiendo que ICE cierre sus casos para no ser deportados.
And we're back today with the same objective, for these 10 people to petition ICE to close their cases so they aren't deported.
Queremos felicitar hoy en día a los 10 miembros de la comunidad que han tenido el valor para levantar la voz y poder organizarse.
We want to congratulate these 10 men who have, without fear, come out to raise their voices and defend their right to organize.
Estamos exigiendo al ICE que por el nuevo memorando sea cerrado los casos. Hoy para el gobierno no es un motivo de deportación.
And we are calling on ICE to apply the federal memorandum as it should be and close these deportation cases.
Para el gobierno no es un motivo ahora, eso no es una prioridad.
By their own guidelines, these cases are not priorities for enforcement.
Ahora estamos aquí para exigir esos mismos derechos, la libertad, para levantar la voz.
And so we are back here demanding the same rights, the freedom of speech, the freedom to speak out.
Ahora no nos quedaremos callados, seguiremos adelante levantando la voz como ahora lo estamos haciendo.
And we're here to say that we won't be silenced. We'll continue to speak out for justice just like we're doing today.
Nuevamente felicito a los que ahora están, que han levantado la voz, se han organizado para que sus casos sean cerrados.
Once again, I want to congratulate those who are taking this action, who are an example for the community, who are fighting to close their cases, to stop their deportations, and to remain. Thank you.
What do we want?
Justice!
What do we want?
Justice!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
When do we want it?
Now!
Yay. So now we're gonna hear from Harry Stark. He's a lawyer from the ACLU, and yeah, without the support of all of you, this won't be able. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate you all being here. I want to thank in particular these 10 individuals for coming forward. My name is Harry Stark. I'm an attorney with the ACLU of Vermont, and we are proud to be here today to stand with our partners in migrant justice and calling on the Biden administration to exercise its prosecutorial discretion and dismiss these deportations. And these proceedings are particularly disappointing because, as you just heard, we've been here before. Right. When I say here, I mean literally right here. We were here in 2018 to file a lawsuit against ICE for its unconstitutional harassment and retaliation against members of migrant justice for exercising their First Amendment rights. That case resulted in a very positive settlement.
Yeah.
Under the terms of that settlement, we got protection for some of those individuals, but also ICE was required to remind its agents about its obligations under the Constitution. And we came back here in 2020 to file that settlement with the court, but also to remind ICE that we weren't going anywhere, and that we would be back to make sure that they stood up and upheld the Constitution's values and Vermont's most deepest commitments. Now, we're here again today because the Biden administration promised to do better, but it's failing to uphold those promises in these 10 deportations. It is emphasized again and again that ICE and its offices have discretion. They have the choice of which cases to pursue and which not to pursue. And it's made clear that ICE should exercise the discretion in pursuing only genuine threats to community safety, and that it needs to tread particularly carefully when there are First Amendment freedoms at play. Now, these 10 deportations are totally inconsistent with that use of prosecutorial discretion, as has been advised by the Biden administration itself. These 10 individuals are not threats to anyone. They are members of our community, they're our neighbors, they're our friends, they're our essential workers, and they have a history of standing up to make sure that their workplaces and their communities uphold our deepest values. And in that way, they fit into a much longer and deeper tradition in Vermont of individuals making their community a better place and making sure that it's a place where everyone can live with equality and dignity. So, the administration has said this again and again. All we are asking is for the administration to exercise the prosecutorial discretion that it has already advertised having and to dismiss these prosecutions. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Harry, and thank you all the attorneys that always been supporting our members and our fight. And of course, we couldn't keep on going with the faith community support, with everyone's support. So I just want to introduce John Javier Duval from the Unitarian Church in Montpelier.
Good morning. I'm the Reverend Joan Javier Duval. I'm honored to be here in support and solidarity with this group today. Far too many immigrants in our Vermont communities are living in fear. The 10 people filing this petition today are doing something incredibly brave by coming forward publicly. But it shouldn't have to take an act of courage to stop the threat of deportation. The inhumane and undignified targeting of immigrant farm workers in Vermont must stop.
Yeah.
Our communities are not better off when those who keep milk and food on our tables and who advance justice for themselves and others are arrested and taken away. These kinds of deportations harm families and communities, and all of us value human rights. Everyone should be able to live safely wherever they call home. People of faith and moral conscience will not stand by as our neighbors and friends are made to live in fear. Every faith tradition teaches us to love our neighbors and to treat others with dignity and respect. We embody God's love when we recognize that we are all connected. We embody the holy when we show up in solidarity with those who are harmed by systems of power. I want to say to the 10 of you filing the petition today and to others who are facing the threat of deportation, you are not alone. We are with you, and we will continue to call on ICE to do the right thing and to stop the attack on human rights and dignity. Thank you.
Thank you again for being here. Thank you mostly to the 10 members that are bringing their cases today. Thank you for all your support. We're going to have questions now, one-to-one. We're open to hear. Well, the group is going to go inside and present their cases. And with that, we're going to finish the press
one-on-one interviews, but while we're all together, members of the assembled press, any questions for the group? And while that's happening, so we'll be bringing these in. These are being sent to the Office of the Principal Legal Advisor of Immigration and Customs Enforcement, as well as to the Enforcement and Removal Operations Director of ICE in Boston. So we'll be sending those in.
Woo!
Woo!
Estamos nerviosos. Somos trabajadores agrícolas. Estamos bien y contentos porque hay esperanza de que se
Well, we're nervous, to be honest. We're dairy workers, we're farm workers. That's what we do day to day. But we're out here because we're hopeful that this action will mean that our cases are closed. Aaron?
I have a question. What have interactions with ICE been like since the settlement and the lawsuit? Has there been any surveillance or
Desde el cierre del caso legal, ¿cuáles han sido los cambios en las interacciones con ICE? ¿Ha seguido la vigilancia o han habido cambios?
Pues seguimos siendo atacados. Ahora pues siempre el temor de que pueda salir a la tienda o al doctor y pues que ahí esté migración que hay.
The attacks against our community are continuing, less fiercely than they did before, but there's always the fear that if you go out, you could be arrested by ICE or Border Patrol on the road or at the store and detained.
Sí, entonces hay más temor en los lugares que son fronteras, igual como muchos trabajadores que trabajan demasiados allá, pues ellos no quieren todavía salir, pero pues seguimos organizándonos y seguimos pues orgullosos y pegados pues a la comunidad y a justicia migrante.
And particularly in the northernmost areas of the state, many farm workers are afraid to leave their farm for fear of being stopped and detained by Border Patrol. But we aren't letting that deter us. We're proud of who we are, and we're going to continue united as a community and continue organizing through migrant justice.
good?
Ahora pues seguimos pues estando orgullosos porque pues ahora por ser parte de la comunidad de justicia inmigrante pues ya no pueden hacer eso que hacían siempre, como atacarte por ese lado. Pues ahora si eres parte de una organización que está luchando por los derechos, pues ya no pueden seguir como callándote y persiguiéndote.
And I say that we're proud because through our previous lawsuit, we made it clear that ICE is prohibited from retaliating against us because of our participation in migrant justice, because we are raising our voices. And now with this new effort, we're showing that that if somebody is here and they're defending their rights and they're speaking out against injustice, that shouldn't be something that puts them at risk. It should be something that provides protection.
Will, beyond showing up today, what can people in the community do to support the work here?
La pregunta de la señora es, más allá de estar aquí hoy, personas aliadas de la comunidad, ¿Qué pueden hacer para apoyar el trabajo de justicia migrante y esta iniciativa? ¿Qué les gustaría ver de aliados? Cualquier persona puede.
One of the things that people can always do, some of the things that we have an active campaign against hand of works. We're doing this, but we're pushing hand of works to join the Mill with Dignity campaign program, and so we're always asking people to write letters or write a comment on their Facebook or make a phone call, and just stay tuned on our website. There's a lot of different things that we're going to be posting out, different ways to take action, and so I think looking at our website, stay tuned, and that'll be the best way to keep up to date on things that we're doing or different actions that are coming up, and I think that's if you're not on our email list, sign up for our email list, and then you can get the messages.
And adding on to that, the fights against deportation and the fights for dignified work and quality housing are related. The 2018 lawsuit was people who had been targeted because they were leaders in the Milk with Dignity campaigns and other efforts to improve conditions in the dairy industry and eliminate human rights abuses. And the 10 folks who are petitioning to stop their deportations today, the basis of that petition is that they have a demonstrated history of fighting for their rights, of speaking back against abuses. And so the best way to honor that fight is to join with them in the Milk with Dignity campaign and in other efforts to improve conditions in the dairy industry and secure human rights for farm workers.
I'm not aware, so what is happening today? Is it submitting paperwork? Is there a judge?
Yeah, so today is a submitting paperwork. It's the filing of a petition requesting that ICE use its discretion to drop the deportation cases of these 10 individuals. So that decision will be made by the ICE office in Boston.
Will, have you gotten any support from the congressional delegation or statewide politicians in filing the petition?
La pregunta es si ha habido apoyo de los congresistas de Vermont o de otros oficiales elegidos respaldando esa petición. ¿Alguien quiere responder? ¿Ese es alguien que estuvo en la llamada? Sí,
contamos con 3 cartas de lo que acaba de mencionar el señor y esperamos que eso también dé mucha fuerza a nuestra causa.
Yeah, this petition has the support of letters of different elected officials, and we think that that will be supporting this effort and strengthening our cause. And members of the press will have some of those letters. Included are from Lieutenant Governor Molly Gray, the state's attorneys of Chittenden County and Lamoille County, and there's a separate letter being submitted from the congressional delegation, Senator Sanders, Senator Leahy, Representative Jones. All right, well, without further ado, we'll wrap it up and available for press to have some one-on-ones. Thanks very much for being here.